Kumusta? Good day and annyeonghaseyo. Hey, it's Tom from Green Shorts. It's hard to believe it's already December of 2023. Like I say that every year though, it just seems like it's going by faster. Maybe it's because my youngest is about to start college. Given that we're entering the holiday season, I've got a special offer just for you, my viewers, and that relates to my production rocket stove called the Rocket King. I kickstarted Rocket King back in 2018, and it's been an interesting ride. Starting out with the full-size Rocket King, and then I created a second version, slightly smaller, called the Rocket King Micro. And I'm down to my last 25 Rocket King Micro stoves, and I've got them up on Amazon. In fact, that's 24 now because someone's already bought one. I wanted to make a special offer to you, my viewers, because I would much prefer these be in your hands than anybody else. So I'm gonna put a coupon code here in the video and not anywhere else because I want you to have sole access to this. So that'll be here until those 24 stoves are gone. If you're not in the market to buy one and you'd rather make one yourself, I do offer the plans for this as well. And it's also scalable. I did a XL version, which I still use to make biochar and burn stuff. And then my friend Chad and I actually made a 4XL version. Oh, there's Chad standing next to it.
This thing is giant, man.
It's massive. Yeah, this size, you could grill on
I
it.
like the way you think.
So it's a rainy day here in Georgia, and so my normal fuel that I use, sticks and twigs, are all wet. So I wanted to light this thing up with an alternative fuel that I've been wanting to try, and that I have some that are dry, which is some pine cones. The Rocket King Micro is 4 laser cut pieces of stainless steel that's stacked together to create a simple box. And then that box is locked together using the fire floor, which inserts through the stove like this, locks down into the circle, and then has a tab that extends out the back. And this tab has a hole in it so you can anchor it down with a tent stake that's included with the product. The Rocket King Micro is made out of 20 gauge stainless steel, weighs just under 2 pounds, and it's actually got a sandblasted finish. Rather than mess up this nice clean stove, I'm gonna light up one that I've already used. I also want to use this opportunity to introduce you to JW. You always hear me refer to JW when I say, eyes and ears, JW.
Hey Tom, JW here. I just wanted to take a minute to congratulate you on your use of safety gear. It's good to see that you now have eyes and ears covered, as do I whenever I mow. It's also nice to see that you have real shoes to cover your toes when you're welding or doing yard work. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Northeast Ohio, just out finishing leaves for the umpteenth time. And I wanted to wish you and your family a blessed holiday season.
He's been a long-time viewer and commenter here on the channel, quite an encouragement. Thanks for the support, brother.
Peace, my brother.
He also sent me this small blowtorch, which is a great way to light this stove. I have been curious if pine cones will work as fuel, so you'll get to see it here for the first time. These things are a little punky. Okay, these pine cones might be too old. Like, I don't even know how long I've had them in the bin under the porch. I do think pine cones would be a viable rocket stove fuel if perhaps they're not quite so old. I did find some relatively dry fuel, at least parts of it are dry. This is what I normally burn in these stoves, sticks and twigs. So I'm gonna use this, and hopefully it'll do what it's supposed to do. The idea behind elevating the fuel is that the air goes in underneath, has a convection current pulling it upwards, and that's almost like blowing on the fire, so you get a much cleaner burn. It'll be pretty much smokeless once the airflow gets going and the stove heats up a little bit. Of course, for the fuel, you want to use smaller sticks and twigs that will burn more quickly. Something like this is probably a little bit too big. The Micro was designed to go with this size of a boiler. This is a Stanley Camping Cup, and it sits just right on the top of the stove. And the fuel floor extends out the front here to hold up the bits of fuel. It doesn't make a big fire, but it is enough to heat up some water with just a little bit of fuel. Now that this is hot, I can use some of the damp fuel. These sticks and twigs are so small that the fire will dry them out fast enough. Scrap shop wood can also be used as fuel if it's split down small enough. Dry fuel is definitely the best way to go. Getting a boil pretty fast with this fire. If you're curious about why I'm not making these anymore, it's because the cost of stainless has gone up like 3 times. The good old COVID supply chain issue. This was perhaps not the ideal test given the dampness of the fuel that I had and the old punky pine cones. But I do have a boil test video I did when I first introduced the Micro, and I'll put a link to that here and at the end of the video as well. Also in the description will be the link to this stove on Amazon. Of course, if you want to make these yourself, there'll be a link as well to get the plans, and you can scale them up to whatever size you want. I also just want to thank you once more for watching my videos this year and all the great engagement and interaction and comments that happen here on YouTube. I love that. I'm actually going to take the next couple of weeks off in order to rest up a little bit and enjoy the holidays with my family and get ready for a new year of making videos again. As always, my mission here at Green Shorts is to help you see green so you can be green, and save a little green by doing it yourself. A rocket stove is green because it uses found fuel and burns it efficiently. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you the first Saturday in January.